Today's topic is acute respiratory distress syndrome, which is basically a disease of respiratory system. It's important because to study about its respiratory distress and what kind of impact it does on the respiratory system. We're going to learn about its etiology, the factors which are responsible for it, the risk factors which are responsible for this disease occurrence, the complications of the disease, and how do we manage this disease. We're going to learn in this. The first of all, the acute respiratory distress syndrome is a very severe form of an acute lung injury. Basically, it's a clinical syndrome which is characterized by a sudden and a progressive pulmonary edema which increasing the bilateral infiltrations on chest x-ray, the hypoxemia and the unresponsiveness towards the oxygen supplementation and the absence of an elevated left atrial pressure. So the patients often demonstrate the reduced lung, which implies the lung compliance. Now the risk factors, so it usually seen in the people who are above the age of 65 years. It's a chronic lung disease, so basically the etiology starts in an early phase which later on gets chronic. There is a history of alcohol misuse or the cigarette smoking. There is ARDS, which can be serious condition for the people who have the toxic shock or who are older or who are having a liver failure or who's having an alcohol misuse history. Now the etiology for this kind of a disease is that there is going to be a direct injury. So the direct lung injury would going to include the gastric aspiration, the bacterial and fungal or the viral pneumonia, the pulmonary contusion, the near drowning, and the prolonged inhalation of the high concentration of oxygen, smoke, or toxic substances. Now, this is all about the etiology. Now, we're going to learn about the indirect injury, which includes the sepsis, like the shock of any cause, the drug overdose, the prolonged hypotension, the cardiopulmonary bypasses, the acute pancreatitis, the hematological disorders such as disseminated intravascular coagulation, or also known as DIC, or multiple blood transfusion, the fat embolism, the non-thoracic trauma, and the head injury and the uremia. These are the several causes which cause because of the indirect injury. So these are the things which occur in an indirect injury. Now there are three main phases which constitute this disease. The first one is exudative phase, which is an injury to the lungs. Whether direct or indirect, it leads to an acute inflammatory response which lasts up to 1 week. And there is a proliferative phase, which is sometimes called as fibroproliferative phase. The inflammatory process basically in the lungs occurs systematically throughout all the tissues, which leads to an increased capillary permeability and the movement of the fluid out of the vascular space and onto the tissues. Now, the signs and symptoms of ARDS, basically it is a marked rapid onset of the severe dyspnea which usually occur from 12 to 48 hours after the initial injury, and there are other signs like rapid shallow breathing, intercostal retractions, bronchi, tachycardia, decreased urine output, respiratory alkalosis, cyanosis, pulmonary crackles, altered mental status, and hypotension is also going to be there. Now there is the diagnostic evaluation. The chest X-ray of ARDS patient is given. We can go for the blood test, urine culture, chest X-ray, CT scans, the throat and nose swabs, electrocardiogram, echocardiogram, arterial blood gas, bronchoscopy, sputum cultures, analysis, and lung biopsies also. So here is a diagram showing a chest X-ray of an ARDS patient. We can differentiate the two chest X-ray. One is the normal and other is one having an ARDS. Now, what are the prevention steps? We can promote medical assistance before any trauma, infection, or illness. We should stop smoking cigarettes and we should stay away from the second-hand smokes. Now, the person who is having alcohol misuse should give up alcohol. Chronic alcohol use may increase the mortality risk and prevent proper lung function. Now, the get flu vaccine annually and pneumonia vaccine every 5 years is very helpful. This decreases the risk of lung infections. So these are the basic steps which can be taken as prevention or the medical management. We should monitor the arterial blood gas, the values, the pulsimetry, and the pulmonary function testing. Now the provide circulatory support. We should treat the hypovolemia carefully and we should avoid the overload. Now the provide adequate fluid management We should administer the IV solutions and provide the nutritional support also. Now, the pharmacologic therapy include the human recombination interleukin 1 receptor antagonist, neutrophil inhibitor, pulmonary specific vasodilators. Now, there are 5 P's of the ARDS therapies. These are very simple 5 P's to remember, and through this we can remember the ARDS therapy, that is the perfusion. Now, we're going to learn about it in the further slides. So, the positioning, which is tell us about what kind of position is helpful. The protective lung ventilation, which tells about a ventilation. There is protocol weaning also, and the preventing complications which arise, which we can prevent by taking certain measures. So we're going to talk about that now. There is perfusion. Basically, the goal for the ARDS patient is to maximize perfusion in the pulmonary capillary system by increasing the oxygen transport between the alveoli and the pulmonary capillaries. So this goal is achieved. We need to increase the fluid volume without overloading the patient. Now we give either crystalloid or colloid to reduce the fluid that have leaked from the capillaries into the alveolar space. Now the blood transfusion can improve oxygen delivery, but remember they can also cause an increased inflammatory response, and there is increased risk of infection and death. Now we have to also remember these are the medical management points. Now we should evaluate the patient volume status before measuring the person's blood pressure, the respiratory variations of the pulmonary and systemic arterial pulse pressure, and we have to measure the central venous pressure and the urine output also. Now the ionotropics such as dobutamine or Dobutrex can increases the cardio output to boost the oxygenation, so it is also being used. Now the vasopressors like norepinephrine and dopamine also used. Now the positioning, basically what happens is the positioning in the patient affects its perfusion. So if a person is standing, the blood flow moves to the base of the lung and it away from the apex. So if a patient is supine, the posterior area of the lung will be more perfused than the anterior. So because the better aerated surface of the lungs are the non-independent areas, so this leads to result in a ventilation perfusion mismatch. So basically it is telling that a position is affecting the perfusion. So I tell you in two positions, standing and in supine. Now for motility, a major cause of pulmonary complications greatly influence pulmonary distribution. There is 3 positioning therapies which can decrease these complications and improve the perfusions in ARDS patients, like the kinetic therapy, which is the bilateral turning of a patient 40 degrees or more per side, and there is a continuous lateral rotational therapy also, which basically a bilateral turning of a patient not more than 40 degrees per side. And there is another positioning, that is the prone positioning. Now the protective lung ventilation, which is the early stage of ARDS, here we use the mechanical ventilation to open the collapsed alveoli. The primary goal of the ventilation is to support the organ function by providing adequate ventilation and oxygenation while decreasing the patient's work of breathing. Now, but mechanical ventilation itself can damage the alveoli, making the protective lung ventilation necessary. So this is all about the protective lung ventilation. Now there is the current recommendation for the protective lung ventilation, which includes, we basically limit the plateau pressure to less than 30 centimeter of water, and basically we maintain the PEP, and we also go for reducing the FiO2 to 50% to 60%. If it doesn't comprise of P partial O2, we provide the low VTs. We sure to monitor the patient for changes in the respiratory status, such as the increased respiratory rate, the adventitious breath sound, the decreased oxygenation saturation. Now there is protocol weaning, which is the weaning protocols which can reduce the time and cost of the care while improving outcomes for ARDS patients. So the rule of thumb is that the patient either needs full ventilatory support or should be weaning. So this is all about the 4th step, that is the protocol weaning. What we are going to do, it reduces the time and the cost of care while improving the outcome for ARDS patient. So basically it rule out the ventilatory support. Now there is preventing complication, that is we go for like complications like deviant thrombosis, which is a treatment for deviating includes, we apply the warm or moist compresses over the legs. We basically elevate the affected leg or affected limb. We're going to administer the patient the anticoagulants, thrombolytics and analgesics, so that the patient's blood doesn't coagulate or thrombolize, or the patient doesn't go on when the patient being on analgesics. And now there is pressure ulcer also. Now there is 5 point, that is a poor nutrition. We're going to deal it with providing a severely compromised nutritional status. So we start the nutritional support as soon as within the possible. Now within 24 hours of admission, we're going to prefer the support method, which is the enteral nutrition, which causes few complications than the parenteral one. Now there is VAP, that is the 40% of ARDS patients develop VAP, which is nosocomial pneumonia, which develops after 48 hours or more of mechanical ventilation. So the more of the mechanical ventilation, so they're going to be the more cases from the aspiration of the bacteria from the mouth and the GIT tract. So these are the all 4 important points which are we can remember by easy mnemonic, that is the 5 P's. So that's it all about ARDS. Thank you.